A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a surprising announcement, U.S. President Donald Trump has declared that India will face a hefty 25% tariff on exports to the United States starting August 1st. This decision is part of a broader strategy aimed at addressing India's continued trade relations with Russia, particularly in the context of the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Trump, who took to his Truth Social account to share the news, emphasized that while India is considered a friend, the level of trade between the two nations has been relatively low due to India's high tariffs and significant purchases of military equipment and energy from Russia. The timing of this announcement raises questions, especially as the U.S. had previously set a 10-day deadline for Moscow to reach a peace accord with Ukraine. The imposition of these tariffs follows a series of trade negotiations between the U.S. and India, which have been ongoing amid rising tensions in international relations. Trump's statement highlighted the U.S.'s frustration with India's trade practices, noting that they have some of the highest tariffs in the world and strict non-monetary trade barriers. The president's comments came shortly after the Indian government reiterated its position to only enter trade agreements from a position of strength, rejecting any attempts to use deadlines as negotiation tactics. This move is not the first time the Trump administration has targeted India. Earlier this year, the U.S. imposed 26% tariffs on various Indian goods as part of the so-called Liberation Day tariffs, which included aluminum and steel imports. However, those tariffs were temporarily suspended, leaving many to wonder about the future of U.S.-India trade relations. In addition to the tariffs on India, the U.S. has also imposed sanctions on 6 India-based companies for their alleged involvement in the trade of Iranian petroleum products. These sanctions are part of a broader effort by the U.S. to curb Iran's oil and petrochemical trade, which is seen as a funding source for destabilizing activities in the Middle East. The State Department has made it clear that these actions are intended to target those who facilitate Iran's illicit oil trade and to cut off the regime's means of funding terrorism. The companies sanctioned include Kanchan Polymers and Alchemical Solutions, among others, and all their assets in the U.S. have been blocked. The U.S. has emphasized that it will continue to take action against entities that support Iran's oil and petrochemical exports, which are facilitated through a network of intermediaries that engage in deceptive shipping practices. As the situation unfolds, Indian lawmakers are voicing their concerns regarding the unilateral nature of the tariffs imposed by the U.S. Shiv Sena, UBT, MP Priyanka Chaturvedi criticized the timing of Trump's announcement, arguing that it undermines the ongoing trade negotiations. She called for the Indian government to provide clarity on the matter and to stand firm against what she described as unilateral decisions made by the U.S. The political landscape in India is now filled with uncertainty as the government grapples with the implications of these tariffs and sanctions. With President Trump emphasizing the importance of tariff reciprocity, the stakes are high for India as it navigates its trade relationships with both the U.S. and Russia. The coming weeks will be crucial for India as it seeks to respond to these developments and assert its position in the global trade arena. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.